No one in the village of Umuohia paid much attention to little Zara. She was only 10, quiet, curious, always with her notebook, always watching. They said she was too young to understand what went on behind closed doors. But they were wrong, because Zara noticed everything. She noticed how Auntie Ngozi always whispered when her father came around. She noticed how her mother's face tightened when she heard Ngozi's name. She noticed the locked box under her father's bed, the one he said was just old documents. And she noticed the smell of fear that filled the house at night, but no one ever talked about it. Until the night Zara couldn't sleep. She crept downstairs for a glass of water. The air was thick with humidity. The generator hummed softly in the background. As she passed the sitting room, she froze. The door to her father's study was slightly open. And inside, she saw something that didn't make sense. Her father, Papa Easy, was sitting with Auntie Ngozi. They weren't talking. They were holding hands, close, too close. Zara's heart beat faster. She crept closer, crouching by the edge of the door, straining to hear. "I can't keep doing this," Ngozi whispered. "She's getting older. She's going to find out." "She won't," her father said coldly. "She's just a child. She knows nothing." Zara backed away from the door, her breath caught in her throat. She knew something was wrong, terribly wrong, and she was going to find out the truth, even if it tore her family apart. Zara didn't sleep that night. She lay on her mattress, eyes wide open, heart racing, Auntie Ngozi and Papa, holding hands, whispering, hiding. What were they hiding? The next morning, everything looked normal, too normal. Mama was singing in the kitchen, stirring ogbono soup. Papa sat reading the newspaper. Auntie Ngozi came by with fresh palm oil like she always did on Saturdays. But now, every smile felt fake. Zara started paying even closer attention. She noticed how Papa's hand brushed Ngozi's when no one was looking, how their laughter was too synchronized, and how Mama never looked either of them in the eye. Later that day, while the adults rested after lunch, Zara tiptoed into Papa's room. Her eyes locked on the locked wooden box under his bed. She reached for the key, the one always hanging on a hook behind the curtain. Her fingers shook as she unlocked it. Inside, old letters tied with red thread, a dusty photograph, and a birth certificate. She unfolded the certificate. Name, Zara E.'s mother, Ngozi Okafor. Her breath caught. That couldn't be right. She blinked, read it again. Mother, Ngozi Okafor. Her world tilted. Mama. Wasn't her real mother? She dropped the paper, her knees hitting the floor. The photo slipped out from under the stack of letters. It was of Papa and Auntie Ngozi, younger, smiling, holding a baby, her. Tears blurred her eyes. Everything was a lie. Zara didn't cry at first. She just sat there on the floor, holding the birth certificate in one hand, the photograph in the other, feeling like the walls around her were shrinking. Everything she thought she knew, every bedtime story, every warm hug from Mama, every smile over Sunday rice, suddenly felt false. The woman who tucked her in at night, the one who held her when she was sick, wasn't even her real mother. She touched the picture. The baby cradled in Auntie Ngozi's arms had the same tiny curl at the edge of her forehead, the same wide-set eyes. It was her. She was the baby. Her heart began to thud in her chest, louder and louder. She thought it would burst. The door creaked. She jumped, quickly shoved the papers back into the box, locked it, and returned the key to the hook behind the curtain. It was Mama. "Zara?" She turned around, trying to look normal. "Yes, Mama?" "I thought I heard something. What are you doing in your father's room?" "I was looking for my school book. I thought I left it here." Mama stared at her for a long moment, then smiled, too gently. All right, but don't touch Papa's things, okay? Zara nodded quickly and left the room, her palms damp with sweat. As she walked back to her own room, her mind spun with questions she couldn't answer. Why did they lie to her? Why did Mama raise her if she wasn't hers? And what happened between Papa and Auntie Ngozi? The next morning, Zara avoided Mama's eyes. She moved slower, more cautious. Her mind was full, her heart heavier than any 10-year-old should carry. She kept hearing that name in her head, Ngozi. It felt foreign now, sharp, like a knife hidden behind a smile. At breakfast, Papa sipped his tea like nothing had changed. Ngozi dropped by again, like always. She brought Zara chin-chin, kissed her forehead and whispered, "My beautiful girl, you look tired." Zara flinched. For the first time, the sweetness in Ngozi's voice made her stomach turn. She wanted to scream, to ask, "Why did you give me away? Why are you pretending?" But she said nothing. That night, she stayed awake again, watching the shadows dance across her ceiling, each one shaped like a question with no answer. On the third night, she made a decision. She waited until Papa and Mama had gone to bed, then tiptoed to the sitting room. She didn't go to the box this time. She went to Mama's Bible, the one she kept by her bedside. She opened it. Inside, tucked between Psalms and Proverbs, were folded letters. Zara's fingers trembled as she unfolded one. It was addressed to Papa. The handwriting was Mama's. "I know she isn't mine by blood, but she's mine in every other way. You promised me this would never come back, that Ngozi would stay away, but she's still around, and I'm scared, Ezzy. Scared that she will ruin what we've built. Scared that Zara will know the truth." Zara dropped the paper. So Mama knew. She wasn't just a victim, she was part of the lie. Her stomach twisted. How could they all lie? So calmly. Sunday afternoon came with its usual calm. The smell of fried plantain floated through the house. Church clothes hung on the line. The radio hummed soft high-life tunes in the background. But inside Zara, a storm was brewing. She sat in the parlor, legs crossed, waiting. Auntie Ngozi always came on Sundays, and right on time, the gate creaked. Her soft knock echoed. Mama opened the door. "Ngozi, come in." Zara watched them greet each other, exchange pleasantries, but this time she didn't run off to her room like she usually did. She waited, and when Ngozi sat on the couch with a cup of zobo, Zara walked up and stood right in front of her. Ngozi looked up, surprised. "Zara, are you okay?" Zara's voice was low but steady. "Who are you to me?" The room froze. Ngozi blinked. "What do you mean?" Zara didn't flinch. "Am I your daughter?" Ngozi's lips parted, but no words came. "I saw the certificate," Zara continued, "and the picture, and the letter Mama wrote." Ngozi's eyes filled with tears. "Zara, tell me the truth," she said, voice cracking. "Please." Ngozi placed her cup down, her hands trembling. "I was very young," she began. "Too young. Your father and I, we were in love. But it wasn't accepted. Not by his family, not by mine. So they forced us apart." Zara's eyes widened. She sat slowly on the floor, knees hugged to her chest. "I gave birth to you in secret," Ngozi continued. "I wasn't ready. I was scared. And your father's wife had just lost a baby." The pieces fell into place. "So, you gave me to Mama?" Zara whispered. "She begged for a child. I wanted you to have a better life. Stability, a real home. I thought I could let go, but I never stopped loving you." Zara couldn't hold back anymore. Tears streamed down her face. "You left me, and then stayed close, pretending." "I needed to see you," Ngozi cried, "even if from afar." Mama stood by the doorway, silent, her face unreadable. Zara turned to both of them. "You all lied to me, my whole life." Papa walked in just then, sensing the tension. His face turned pale when he saw the look on Zara's face. "You knew," she said, standing. "You all knew. And you let me live in a lie." No one spoke. The room held its breath. Zara stood between three adults, each of them responsible for hiding her truth, each of them now exposed. Papa stepped forward. "Zara, listen to me." But she held up her hand. "Number you, listen." Her voice, though shaking, carried weight. More than her years, more than her size. "You all thought I wouldn't understand, that I was too small, but I'm not. I see everything, and now I see you all clearly." Mama stepped forward, eyes pleading. "We raised you with love. I loved you like my own." "But I wasn't yours," Zara said. "And you never told me, not even when I deserved to know." Ngozi sobbed softly behind her palm. Zara turned to her. "And you gave me away and still stayed close. You visited, hugged me, brought me snacks, but you never said, 'I'm your mother.' Why?" Ngozi's voice cracked. "Because I was a coward." Silence again. Papa tried to speak. "Zara, we didn't want to hurt you." "You did," she said, "even if you didn't mean to." She turned to the door, then paused. "I don't know if I can forgive you. Not today, maybe not soon." Her hands trembled. "But I want to. Someday." She looked at Mama. "I still love you." Then at Ngozi. "And I need time to know you." She looked at Papa last. "But you? You don't get to decide for me anymore." Zara walked out, barefoot on the cold tiles, notebook tucked under her arm. She didn't run. She didn't scream. She just walked into the sunlight, into a world that suddenly felt honest, even if painful. That evening, she wrote in her notebook for the first time in days. "They broke my truth. But now I will rebuild it. Myself." So here's the question. If your entire identity turned out to be a lie, would you forgive those who kept the secret or walk away forever? Let me know in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe if this story made you feel something. And remember, not all truths are kind, but they always matter.